Welcome back to another episode of The Daily Threat, your trusted source for the latest in cybersecurity news. We have an action-packed episode lined up for you. We'll be diving deep into some major cybersecurity incidents that have been making headlines lately. So let's get started. Our first story today revolves around the persistent threat of ransomware attacks targeting critical infrastructure. In a recent article by Dark Reading titled "Why Critical Infrastructure Remains a Ransomware Target," the author highlights the ongoing vulnerabilities in this crucial sector. Ransomware attacks have evolved into a lucrative business for cybercriminals, and critical infrastructure provides an enticing target due to its potential for causing widespread disruption and financial gain. According to the article, critical infrastructure includes sectors such as energy, water, transportation, healthcare, and telecommunications. These industries are interconnected and play a vital role in our daily lives. Unfortunately, cybercriminals have been relentless in their efforts to exploit weaknesses within these sectors. In recent months, we've witnessed numerous high-profile ransomware attacks on critical infrastructure. Attackers often gain access through phishing emails, exploiting unpatched vulnerabilities, or leveraging weak passwords. Once inside the network, they move laterally, escalating privileges, and eventually deploying ransomware to encrypt critical data and systems. The consequences of these attacks are severe. Infrastructure downtime can lead to power outages, disrupted healthcare services, transportation disruptions, and compromised public safety. The financial implications for affected organizations can reach astronomical figures. So, what can businesses do to mitigate these risks and protect critical infrastructure? Here are a few best practices and recommendations. Regularly update and patch all software and operating systems to address known vulnerabilities. Implement robust access controls and multi-factor authentication to prevent unauthorized access. Conduct regular security awareness training for employees to educate them about phishing attacks and other social engineering techniques. Back up critical data regularly and ensure the backups are stored securely offline. Develop an incident response plan to efficiently handle potential attacks and minimize downtime. By implementing these practices, businesses can significantly enhance their security posture and reduce the likelihood of falling victim to ransomware attacks. Moving on to our next story, we have an alarming report about a massive phishing campaign that has been impersonating over 100 well-known brands. Bleeping Computer brings us the details in their article titled "Massive Phishing Campaign Uses 6,000 Sites to Impersonate 100 Brands." This phishing campaign is truly staggering in scale and sophistication. The attackers have created over 6,000 websites that mimic popular brands, including banks, e-commerce platforms, and social media networks. Their goal is to deceive unsuspecting users into entering their login credentials and personal information, which can then be used for identity theft, fraud, or further targeted attacks. The article highlights the importance of being vigilant and exercising caution when interacting with online platforms. To protect yourself and your organization from falling victim to these phishing attacks, here are a few recommendations. Be cautious of unsolicited emails or messages that request personal information or contain suspicious links. Check the authenticity of websites by examining the URL, looking for secure connections, HTTPS, and verifying the legitimacy of the brand or organization. Enable two-factor authentication, 2FA, whenever possible to add an extra layer of security to your accounts. Educate yourself and your team about the common signs of phishing attacks, such as spelling errors, grammatical mistakes, and urgent requests for personal information. By adopting these practices, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling prey to phishing attacks and safeguard your sensitive information. Our final story for today focuses on the latest Microsoft Patch Tuesday release for June 2023. Krebs on Security provides us with valuable insights in their article titled "Microsoft Patch Tuesday, June 2023 edition." Patch Tuesday is a monthly event when Microsoft releases security updates and patches for its software and operating systems. These updates are crucial for addressing vulnerabilities and protecting systems from potential exploitation by cybercriminals. The June 2023 Patch Tuesday release includes a significant number of fixes, including patches for critical vulnerabilities in Microsoft Windows, Office, and other software products. These vulnerabilities, if left unpatched, could allow attackers to gain unauthorized access, execute arbitrary code, or carry out remote code execution. To ensure your systems remain secure, it is essential to apply these updates as soon as possible. Here are a few best practices to follow. Enable automatic updates wherever feasible to ensure timely installation of security patches. Prioritize the installation of patches for critical vulnerabilities that could lead to remote code execution or compromise sensitive data. Test patches in a controlled environment before deploying them across the entire organization. Maintain a comprehensive inventory of software and hardware assets to identify systems that require patching. By adopting these best practices and promptly applying security patches, you can effectively protect your systems from known vulnerabilities and reduce the risk of exploitation. That wraps up today's episode of the Daily Threat, where we explored the persistent threat of ransomware attacks on critical infrastructure, the dangers of massive phishing campaigns impersonating popular brands, and the importance of applying the latest security patches from Microsoft. Remember, cybersecurity is a collective responsibility, and by staying informed and implementing best practices, we can make the digital world a safer place. Before we go, I want to remind you to subscribe to the Daily Threat to receive your daily dose of cybersecurity news, insights, and best practices. We appreciate our viewers' support, and the Daily Threat is brought to you by QIT Solutions, your trusted partner in cybersecurity. Stay safe, and until next time.